Namaskar, Jai Hind. Let's talk about leadership. Leadership in itself is a huge subject, and every second person in the management world knows about it, talks about it, and everyone wants to grow to be a great leader. But when it comes to what is it actually practically in your and my life, then the leadership defined versus the leadership executed are very, very different topics altogether. And when you talk to somebody about leadership, oh, have you taken a course on leadership? He says leadership is natural. Comes, आएगी, order देंगे, काम चलेगा. But does it happen like this? Saying that leadership would come and leadership is a huge ship and people at the apex, they're the only one who know about it. And anybody else in the company, in the army, in the government, and anywhere else in the organization, they are just followers. Somebody who's at the helm of affairs is said to be a great leader, or otherwise. But when you look around, you find that authority is not the only aspect that creates or yields leadership. I recollect we were in Secunderabad, College of Defence Management, and we as colonels and senior officers, we used to be in the college, but there was one gentleman, Swami. Swami was mother for all. He was a guru for all. Though he was a class 4 employee, but he was so dedicated to his job that the day officers joined College of Defence Management, within a week or so he would know all their names, and we were, remember, almost close to 100 of us in strength. And he would remember the names, he would remember as to where we're staying, he would recollect where and when to connect up with us. Our mails, our documents never got misplaced. Now what do you call him? Is a leader, a great follower who remembers all these things? Or is that committed soul who's just not bothered about leadership? When I looked around this particular aspect, and when I talk of leadership in various courses, subjects, workshops of mine, Swami reflects a very high order of leader in my head at least. What is a leader? When we say that leader comes out even without authority, he doesn't need an authority. He takes responsibility. He starts delivering where it is required. Leader is one who commits himself. He's self-motivated. We all know this. हम सबको मालूम है ये सब. But who does it? How many of us do it? One fine morning when Army Chief came to the College of Defence Management and we all sat together, and Commandant mentioned about Swami to the Chief, and he says, I would like to see this gentleman. Swami in his long shirt, untucked over the trousers, he comes very smiling face, very short statured gentleman, and he talks to Chief for some time. Chief takes out his medal and he says, here is the Army Chief's commendation card for you. Now when I analyze this example, I find that this gentleman may not be very highly qualified, but he is a true identity for a leader who used to change the entire environment in College of Defence Management, who would motivate others, who would motivate people like us to continue to struggle and work hard. I'll give you another example. In army, we need not be great leaders or commanding officers to be, very good authoritative leader, or army is basically danda man hona chahiye. Very strict, very bullying man can only become a good army officer. Or the JCOs, Jawans, the soldiers are just followers. In essence, when I realized, I went to the units, I went to the operational areas, line of control, Siachen and all that, I realized that the availability of the officers was not much. 1/2 officers over, say, 125 men. In all, 10 to 15 officers availability in a unit of approximately 1,000 men. So ratio was almost 1:125. And when you take this forward, Can this one officer lead all the soldiers in all circumstances, in all operations, everywhere? Can he be omnipresent? No, obviously. And you realize there is so much of responsibility that we give to our junior commissioned officers and the soldiers, that you realize that the leadership is at all levels. That soldier who's empowered with a rifle, with a gun, with a mortar, is a leader. He has the power to fire and shoot and kill. But he does it very responsibly. He does it on the line of control against the enemy. When we go for ambushes, patrols, or are deployed across, they are the watchful eyes of the nation. He doesn't have great authority. He's just a soldier, equated with class 4 or class 3 in other services in the country. But we all rely on him. He says, Bharatiya Sena, Desh ki Sena, Mazboot Sena. Why is it so? Because that soldier owns the responsibility. He doesn't need external motivation. He does what is supposed to be done. And he possibly delivers much more than what is expected. So when you compare whether it is civil life or military life, you take corporate life, you'll find always in any company, there are a handful of guys at different levels in the chain of hierarchy who are simply committed to the cause. And there are others who would say, yeah, if I get my salary, if I get my perks, I will work. So you have two very different classes. And when you have to analyze the leadership per se, who would you take in your team? The guy who is highly qualified, looking for his own personal gains, or somebody qualified or less qualified but highly committed, motivated, who would like to take responsibility, own responsibility. In today's world, the major challenge that the CEOs, CFOs and senior leaders face is owning the responsibility. And this owning responsibility is so difficult. So difficult. You can't really say कि मेरा है मैं करके दिखाऊंगा. And when you reach that level, you don't look at what appointment you are. You want to deliver. You want to feel yourself satisfied. I was speaking to Just Sushil this morning in Jaipur. Is one of our veteran officers, and while commenting, he is the actually gentleman who motivated me to write the book Lead Like a Legend, and he's the one who wrote the foreword. So I said, sir, I'm planning a book launch. Would you like to be the chief guest? And he says, Jeewan, please don't pull me back to that level. I've never been. I'm very happy the way I am. Let me be happy with myself. I'll do whatever I can, and that's it. It gave me a thinking wave. I said, gentleman at this level, retired decades ago, is almost 75 plus, and all that he's doing is he's still giving to society, giving to people, giving to serving people in the army, anyone outside. That's where the differentiation between leadership and actually somebody more, that you can differentiate between them. Responsibility has to be very clearly, with a very clear focus, taken on. I'm a very firm believer that unless somebody takes on responsibility with a will, self-will, then only it succeeds. Otherwise, you tend to fail. If I don't take responsibility for what I am doing, for my family, for my office, for my people, I will not be able to deliver. And so is the case across the board. See around in your houses, in your professional arenas, you will find these people at sprinkles. And all that we need to do is build ourselves in a manner that we are able to deliver. Deliver to whom? Give. Jitna doge, utna aayega. Saying is easier than actually committing and doing it. But unless you and me start, it will not happen. Unless we build our own attitude of giving, it will not happen. Majority of people say, what is in it for me? And unless I have an advantage, why should I get into? When it comes to business firms, give and take, it's all right. Productivity, sales, marketing, operations, they are all which are interlinked of productivity and outcomes. You can have your KPIs all right, but these outcomes have to be connected with your subjective inner core of your own self, and that is where leadership lies. Quantifying it so difficult. I do in a lot of my workshops to quantify the leadership. What is your leadership capability today? I can sit with you and give and identify. I was doing it with a Hyderabad-based IT expert. This lady was in US for over 8 years. Now she's come back. She's a highly qualified lady, but she feels her other friends and people have risen in rank and structure, whereas she's remained at the same level, and she wanted to do an MBA. When we discussed over workshop, she came to me and we discussed. I said, "You such a qualified lady, why do you have to actually at this age and stage go for another education qualification? All that you need is a human touch. Start taking on ABC." And we started gradually from her home, her relations, and her official work, and alongside her IT skills, the moment we developed the human skills, human behavior, the way you look inwards about yourself, and gradually she started doing excellent. And today she's I compliment Pramila for doing so excellent in her job, at places of work and otherwise in life. So when really I want to say is that when you take leadership on board, you don't have to take it on board with somebody else. You have to take it on board with yourself. Look inwards. What is it that you can do? What is it that you can do for yourself, for your company, for your country? And it is possible. Most of the time, when you start doing it for yourself, let's take an example that you want to grow. How am I concerned with my company? My growth should come in. Very well. You grow, no problems. But how will you grow? You have to have the capability of a senior leader. You'll have to have the strategic foresight. You have to develop your own self so that you can assume higher appointments. You can take on those kinds of accountability and responsibility. So willy-nilly, what are you involving? That you have to develop yourself as a good individual, as a good leader. And irrespective of the hierarchy or the appointment that you are in, you have to develop yourself. I have to develop myself. And even if for my personal selfish goals, I say I want to prepare for interview skills, I want to prepare for negotiations at the international level. What are you doing? You're upskilling yourself. And with human behavior, smiling faces, you're able to connect with people, win hearts and minds. Your skill and your human skills, technical skills, human skills combined together puts you at the appropriate level to become a great leader. Try some of these in your personal life and you'll find that it happens. For today, just take it that for every situation you will just smile and see the changes in your life. Smile. Even if this one word is taken today, I'm sure tomorrow you'll find a lot of things easing out, because smiling is more effective, infectious than a crooked smile or bad face or giving say dirty looks to others. So let us look inwards, grow yourself, grow together with the company, and I'm sure things will be fantastic. We will keep talking. If you like the idea of my conversation, please share with your family, friends and others. Do subscribe to my channel Brigadier Jeewan Rajpurohit and Vision That Matters. You have queries on leadership, I'm most welcome, open to helping you and the organizations out. Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.